Dominion is not a function of prayer. No, dominion is not a function of prayer. It's a function of resemblance. How much of God do you look like? What do I say? How much of God do you look like? How much of a spirit do you look like? In John chapter 10 verse 1, he said, I and my Father are one. Please hear me. The last thing God will do is to give his dominion to somebody who doesn't have his image. Before Adam died, Adam left the image of God and took his own image. And then when he took his own image, he left the garden. I said when he took his own image, he left the garden of God. Because he cannot take his image and still be in the garden that requires God's image. Maybe you should look at it in chapter 5:3. I said he cannot have his image. Verse number 3. And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. Pay attention. Adam couldn't have given birth in God's image. So when he started giving birth like a man, God sent him out of the garden of God, that he might live outside like a man. And then outside like a man made a demand on effort. He started sweating. God, that's the nature of men. Adam went back to sweating. He went back to start tilling the ground. He made things and touched us, because he has lost something that made him to command things for God. The 4 rivers and golden land of Eden in chapter 2 of Genesis can only be controlled by a man that had the image of God. So in Colossians chapter 1 verse 15, the Bible says is made in the is the visible image of the invisible God. And then the Bible said all things were made under that image, under that command. When you have time, read it, or maybe I can hold you up to it in chapter 1, 15 and 16 and 17. Now, excuse me, a lot of people are saying, Shepherd, God has blessed you. I said, since about 3 hours 18 minutes, have I said nonsense? Have I said something that is conventional? Now this message I started getting ready for this since last week. If you look at Kennedy there, I give it to him badge by badge. I gave it to him. I just came now. I was not here from 8. I just came. Even that like 3 hours I had at home. That 3 hours I had at home. It was thinking, it was praying. It was getting ready for a message that can bless the saints. It was coming, bringing a particular truth. I didn't take it for granted. I don't come to the altar casually. Yesterday when I came, I was busy there, trying to find it out. After the service on Sunday, I was busy. Throughout the night, I was busy. I get it badge by badge. He keep announcing it. Because, particularly by degree of relevance. Now, I want to ask you a question. Don't think about dominion. You see, because dominion goes on when we are not doing anything. It doesn't run on human activity. It runs on image. at me. Something that Satan cannot defeat, he can't defeat it. Satan couldn't have conquered Adam with the image of God. So what he did was to make Adam to lose it, so that Adam can become his servant. And when Jesus came, Satan went to Jesus to lose it. Jesus refused to lose it. Since I became a preacher, Satan have always wanted me to lose it. I can't lose it and be here. I cannot pray and fast over something that I will tell God through my breath. Through the breath of my value, I can't fast for it. Something that when I'm sleeping, my breath will tell it to God because of value. Why will I work for it? When Satan took away that image from Adam, Adam became nothing. He took his own image. That was what Eve wanted. He wanted a natural man. And then she rested, because she has already diminished Adam. She made Adam subject to death, and then she rested. She took away grace from Adam. She took Adam in a holy wilderness, made him nothing, subjected him to shame, made him naked. Then she rested. She succeeded in making Adam subject to Satan. Adam was not subject to Satan. He removed the cloth of Adam. That is why, if you're looking at me, you should get strong with some decisions. Particularly decision that is tied to your destiny. Look at Colossians chapter 1:15. Please quickly, in a hurry time because of time. Quickly. Go ahead. Say, who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creatures? Go ahead. By him
were all things created that are in heaven and in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones, dominions, or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
All things were created for him and for him. Go ahead. He said, whether they be, he said, by him, and whether they are in heaven, they are on earth, visible and invisible, whether they are thrones, or dominions, or principalities or powers, all things were created for him and for him, and he is before all things,
and by him all things consist.
That is it. That is a man who have not lost his image. He didn't lose it. The moment that Moses became a god, Pharaoh came under him. It wasn't about effort anymore. It was about support. It was about being with. Can I tell you something? You can produce a life that God can be with. Let me say, can I say, we can produce a life. You know, partakers of divine nature in the book of 2 Peter. It's about producing a life, an image that God can be with. Not something that we are not sure of. Something that we can boast with. Something that God can be with. Something that we can be happy about. Now look at what, in that series I was talking about, I said Jesus gave his life to Christ and not God. Now do you know, Kennedy, that's where I am now. Jesus gave his life to Christ. Do you know that some people are thinking that Jesus gave his life to God? That is why they are giving their life to God. How can you give your life to God that you didn't see? How are you sure? Where is he? Huh? Where is the God you're saying you gave your life? Jesus didn't give his life to God. He gave his life to the Christ in him. Do you know why what I'm preaching? I can't stop preaching. It's because I don't want to give my life to God I can't see. Jesus gave his life to Christ. In case you're hearing me, Christ gave himself to only one man, and we all are servants of that man. A man cannot be a servant of God. A man cannot be a servant of God. Men, you always serve men. Only a man that have God in him can be servant of that God. Only Jesus can serve Christ. And then all of us, we are all servants of Jesus. And then if you are a servant of Jesus, then you are a servant of Christ. Because Jesus has become equal with Christ. And in John chapter 4:16, John chapter 14:6, he's the one that leads to God. We don't know where God is, but the one that leads him. What we are doing is to follow him. And when he said to us that he's leading us to God, Philip called him and said, "Oga,